American writer J.J. Mapeace once said, agriculture is a fundamental source of national prosperity. It's good to know you've joined us on this week's episode of Agro On TV, Nigeria's agricultural program on television. I'm Rukere Ekewenu. Today on the show, we have a special package for you, and I'm sure you're wondering what's in the package. Wonder no more as we are set to blow your minds with insights on the green sector. Be a part of the show on our social media platforms by sending in your reactions and suggestions on Twitter at Agro Nigeria, on YouTube at Agro Nigeria TV. You can also send a mail to ask@agronigeria.com.ng. Our website is agronigeria.com.ng. We will be right back after this timeout. Don't go nowhere.
Triton, Triton,
Triton Group, a name associated with excellence in aquaculture and poultry production. Triton will deploy state-of-the-art technology as well as catfish and tilapia. For inquiries, visit www.tritongroup.biz or our office at 49 Apapa Oshodi Expressway, Ijesha, Lagos, Nigeria. Triton Group, producing for Nigeria.
Triton.
The much talked about Southwest Agricultural Summit took place at the Civic Center in the largest city of West Africa. Yours truly was at the event and has a special report for you on the pulse.
The journey to reclaim its lost glory began with a thirst from pace-setting agropreneurs in Nigeria. The date was fixed, and without much ado, the planning began in due course. The birth of the Southwest Agricultural Summit gave hope to many who have hitherto doubted the efforts of the state governments in the regional development of agriculture. Preparation ahead of the biggest agricultural gathering in the Southwest gathered momentum with interest from the federal government and major stakeholders in the agribusiness. On October 6, 2016, the reality to realize the dream of developing the Southwest region, and by extension Nigeria, through agriculture began at about 9 a.m. at the Civic Center, Agodi Gate, in the largest city in West Africa, Ibadan, Oyo State, otherwise known to some as the Cocoa City. Arriving in groups with the determination to bring back the glory days of agriculture at the end of the summit, the event began with steps to foster the growth and development of agriculture in Nigeria, beginning from the geo-economic zones. This summit, organized by Agro Nigeria and the Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, Dawn Commission, and co-convened by Nigerian Export-Import Bank, NEXIM, Nigerian Investment Promotion Council, NIPC, Nigerian Incentive-Based Risk Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, NESAL PLC, Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, and FX Commodities Exchange, at its first plenary on business environment from the private sector perspective, and had as panelists Rashid Sarumi, CEO, Saro Africa, Ashvin Samtani, Chairman, Triton Group, Ayodeji Balogun, Country Manager, FX Commodities Exchange, Adeniji Adedeji, CEO, Tepebo Farms Limited, Olusegun Falade, Head of Agri-Inputs, Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC, and was moderated by Richard Mark Mbaram, CEO, Agro Nigeria.
Mechanized farming is what we need, but you cannot farm inside the office. You need the land. Land is a big challenge in the Southwest states. The Southwest government see the land as their own oil, and they want to hold on to it. Please release the land. If you don't want to sell it, but find a way to release it to those who will use it to make it productive.
The Oyo State government came forward very quickly and did all the right things to us. Here we are.
It's that part I want to hear. So the Oyo State government actually enhanced your prospects in your state. And we can say that for the rest of the region.
Yes, absolutely. We've got investments in Ocean, Oyo, Lagos State as well, and our experience in terms of ease of doing business is good, fantastic. Three things need to be done in 1 minute. Power, I'll be brief. Power, infrastructure, and security.
With the theme, Achieving an Agro-Powered Regional Economy, the summit was graced by the attendance of the Minister of Agriculture, Chief Audu Ogbe, duly represented by the Technical Advisor on Youth and Gender, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Cynthia Musumola Umoro. Also present at the summit were representatives of the 6 Southwest states and other private sector agribusiness operators. In his keynote address, Dr. Doyin Salami of the Lagos Business School said agriculture plays almost an irreplaceable role in the lives of the humans and the economy. He stated that an agro-powered regional economy cannot be achieved in one day, bearing in mind the years of neglect the sector has suffered.
Once upon a time, 70% of Nigeria's labor force was engaged in agriculture. Once upon a time, some of the most progressive practices in Nigeria in terms of innovation came from agriculture. But you see, at that time, agriculture was also regionally run. Let me repeat that. Agriculture then was regionally run. And that is why for me, when I say this is about going back to the past, it worked then. And honestly, I see no reason why it should not work now.
The second plenary was on the new dynamics in effective agribusiness financing. Among the panelists were Abdulhamid Aliyu, MD Nessal, Kingsley Aibogevo, ED Providence Bank, Johnson Ibinosa, Head Agriculture and Rural Finance, Lapo Microfinance Bank, Shola Babalola, Head Agriculture and Exports, UBA PLC, and was moderated by Ayodeji Balogun, Country Manager, Effects Commodities Exchange.
What can the political economy and the decision makers, what can they do different? How can they get more to the grassroots and the people that need this facility?
Today, you talk about these 500 billion naira intervention funds, but what I know is effectively for us to see, if you go to the gate junction there, okay, and you throw naira notes of 1 million naira, you can see people scrambling for it. Okay, people like you and I will just look at it and walk away, but you will still see millions of Nigerians that will scramble for it. Those are the ones that need the money. Today we have these intervention funds, we have this innovative financing, but the people who need it do not know and they do not understand it. So it's serving no purpose.
This was closely followed by Plenary 3, which centered on increased productivity and access to markets.
What the market is saying, because all this one you're talking is Oyinbo. From a business point of view, I'd like to know what market am I speaking to? From a farmer point of view, you want to know how much money are you going to make? I mean, so let's hear the nairas, let's hear the metric tons, and let's hear those kind of things that is going to make the market jump.
we lose 3%, not even 30%, my apology. 30% of that is lost. So can we start with catching, stopping this post-harvest loss? Can we start with identifying where the harvest is, somewhere around the farm, or is it at the market? Can we identify how it moves? Who did it move to? Did it move to a middleman, or did it move to a so-called politician? At the end of the day, where did it end up?
The final plenary was on land governance and management in southwest Nigeria and had as panelists state commissioners, Deputy Speaker, State of Osun House of Assembly, Kola Adeniji, CEO, Niji Farms, and was moderated by Alhaji Fatai Afolabi. There were parallel breakout sessions in between the four plenaries, but the one that took all by surprise was the presentation of the youngest moderator of the breakout sessions, Femi Adewumi, who took charge of the Research for Development and ICT Group, a situation that showed the future is bright for the agric sector.
If ICT has worked in other sectors, I believe that ICT can work in agriculture and it can work perfectly.
The market options identified for increased production and for export were the ones for the need to create marketing boards and also the creation of livestock research-based institute, because we believe that NAPRI as it is cannot drive the research in all the livestock species. And therefore, best practices and R&D, the group believe that there should be synergy between all the stakeholders.
One of the first things we should do is try to organize a crop economy for food crops in southwestern Nigeria. And how are we going to do this? We must determine the priority crops for southwest Nigeria. We must identify the priority crops, and the crops must be planted in the right places. There are soil maps in Nigeria. They are available for western Nigeria. They are available for plantation, so you can know which soil is good for what crop.
We talked about the off-takers. The government needs to come into play, because if the government is having intervention in CACS, tax loan, CBN intervention, they have a ready market in the military, in the school program, in the prisons, the youth corpus. If we can lock into that, then actually have a ready market in terms of off-taking for our agricultural products.
It is one thing to learn and another to implement, but participants at the summit spoke to us on what their plans are after the event.
In fact, we are waiting to go into agriculture. What we just need is help, aid, grants that can actually soften the ground for us to land. People should come to our aid. They should help us provide solutions. They should encourage us right from school, right from 100 level, right from Part 1, right from ND1. They should bring incentive. We have Agbami that provides scholarship for engineering students, medical students. There should be one private firm or one millionaire or billionaire that can actually provide scholarship. This will encourage students to be able to take the course of agriculture, groom themselves to see light in it, and at the same time, they will be smiling by the end of studying the course.
We also listen to people talk about what has worked, what's not working in their areas, and so I think this has really been very, very useful, and I have had to commend the organizers, the Dawn Commission, and including Agro Nigeria that you work with, and I think this is a good initiative. We're proud to be associated with. We have also discussed with other states to look at areas in which we can work together.
Well, there are three major ones I think becomes very germane at this time. One of them is the issue of the land governance, to actually make land available to all that wants to get involved in agriculture without any encumbrances. The second has to do with the issue of the management of even the water bodies for aquaculture and fish production, particularly that not much attention has been paid to that. And the third aspect of it is the need to be organized for us to get the best out of our agricultural sector, and particularly developing the value chains in the various crops of interest, wherein we have comparative advantage as well as competitive advantage.
On AgroStyle this week, we bring you an enterprising young Nigerian whose dream is to see aspiring agropreneurs succeed with their career. He seems to love being behind the scene, but I was able to bring him before the camera. Enjoy the chat.
My name is Deji Rotimi. I'm the MD of Hills Harvest Limited, a food distribution and marketing company. So what we do, we are food distribution and marketing. So what we do is we contract farmers to grow for our off-takers. So in the likes of supermarkets, hotels, restaurants, schools, we get contracts from them for different vegetable products, and then we onward provide contract to outgrowers to grow. Sometimes we help assist with seeds, input, and very rarely though, finance to grow, especially to specifically to specifications. Well, to grow to specifications and then distribute to our off-takers. So we're like the missing link for the value chain to ensure farmers have access to market. We're trying as much as possible to put everything to a, how should I put it, a more structured approach that the financiers, like the banks, CBN intervention funds, will understand it and basically be able to relate to it and feel comfortable with providing funds. So that's really what we're trying to do. So we organize the farmers that they see that these guys are serious and they're committed to this. We ourselves, you know, the cash flow, the credibility is on board, and then the off-takers come on board too. So everybody sits together in the value chain, and the banks see that, and the financiers basically, and they're able to commit financing to it. I think with more of people like us coming on board and having a better structure, I think the sky is the limit. So really, farmers should just, well, I won't say patient because they've been very patient, but having them organize themselves with in cooperatives, because they cannot, everybody cannot work in silos.
If you watch that match, you see the message, this guy don't sabi anything.
Are you blind? Can't you see?
Mama Sunday, what's the matter?
Mama Sunday, answer us now. Who has offended you today? Have they sent Sunday away from school?
Look at my son. He just came back from school and there is nothing for him to eat for lunch. I was hoping that he would have had some food in school as promised by the current administration during their campaign. I am tired of the promise and fail of this government, especially on this school feeding policy.
Is that why you're worried? Forget about these politicians for now. This school feeding policy to me is a prank.
Even if it's not a prank, Uche, of what benefit is it to us? What do we stand to gain from it? School feeding what?
Let me tell you one thing there. All these things, all these are promises. It's just a hoax. Look, it is business as usual. That's the main thing. First of all, they will provoke the empathy of the masses. Then you now take advantage of their weakness to gain votes. Left to me, all this policy, it's not the light of day.
Guys, listen to me. This government is clueless.
Clueless?
They don't know what to do at all. They are very clueless.
Very, very clueless.
They lost their priority.
Adamu Uche! Yomi, this is wrong. You people cannot be correct. The homegrown school feeding program is a policy of this government that is aimed at providing primary school age children like Sunday with one balanced meal a day, which will enable them grow properly and have their brains properly formed. That way, you can have professors coming from children like this. Because if a child like this is getting a balanced diet, his health will be protected. So we will not be having issues of children dying and children having problems and government spending money on hospital bills. But my people, the homegrown school feeding program of this government is one that we all must support in order for it to succeed.
Recently, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Engineer Babachu David Lawal, stated that foreign nomads are responsible for the crisis among farmers and herdsmen across the country. Do you agree with him? Here is how Nigerians reacted to it.
Well, I do agree with him for one reason. When we were young, we had cattle rearers from the north. It was during this Boko Haram problem that these cattle rearers became wild. They don't destroy properties before in Nigeria. Everybody move about, do your business, I do my own. But nowadays, we can even regard those people as part of Boko Haram, those people, those Fulanis. Because according to what we are hearing in the radio, they kill 50, 20 people at a time. That is not when we are not in war, when there is no war. So I do believe what the man said. They are not Nigerians. They can't speak English if you talk to them. Even most of them don't hear, they don't speak Hausa. What they speak is a Nigerian language or so.
In the first instance, what explains the influx to the extent that they will now have courage to start fomenting trouble in a foreign land where they don't belong? I don't believe. I'm sorry. I don't share that opinion. In any case, how did they find themselves here on our ground, in our country? And what audacity? You came to do business, fine. But you now have audacity to kill, to maim, foment trouble? I don't think they are non-Nigerians.
Actually, to a certain extent, most of those who are aggressive, they are not Nigerians, because in some cases I get in contact with them. I realize that they don't even understand English, Hausa, or any other language in Nigeria. So they are so aggressive that when we look at it and know categorically that most of them are from the neighboring countries. I bet it is not all of them that are from neighboring countries. There are some of them that believe whatever they do, nothing will happen to them, and they have power, and there are some people behind them.
If truly we want to say they are not Nigerians, if that's what some of our leaders believes, all what we know is the Fulani guys who've been having them around us before. This is not the first time we've been having them around. They carry their cattle from one place to the other to graze. But getting to the situation of them carrying guns to kill innocent Nigerians, that tells us that truly, where do they get these guns? They get it from Nigeria here. They didn't carry the gun when they are coming in through the border, because I believe our security men are supposed to be there to check them while they are coming in. And number two, I would say somehow our government is to be blamed. In every land, there is always laws. When these guys are coming in, they should have told them, these are the things you should do, these are the things you shouldn't do. Had they were told, they would have known the places to go and where not to go to. And number two, the government should be able to play their own part. How? By providing a grazing land for the Fulani men.
My own experience about the Fulani herdsmen is that they are Nigerians, because during the time I was a little child, I used to see them in our communities, and they are blacks. They are not the white people. My own belief that they are Nigerians. If they are not Nigerians, our government is supposed to do something about our borders, because our government They are not care about the masses. They are not care about people. My own belief that Fulani herdsmen is not from other country. They are Nigerians here.
Many thanks for being a part of this week's episode of the program. No doubt your understanding of the green sector has been enlightened. In case you missed any part of the show, you can always watch it on YouTube, as each episode of Agro On TV is available for your view. Feel free to share your opinions and suggestions on our social media platforms, on Twitter at Agro Nigeria, on Facebook at Agro Nigeria, on YouTube at Agro Nigeria TV. You can also send a mail to ask@agronigeria.com.ng. Our website is agronigeria.com.ng. You can advertise your products and services on this show, as well as contact us for the management of agricultural projects and events. Until next week, I remain your host, Rukewa Ekewenu. Think growth, think agriculture. Bye for now.